Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's halftime performance. The band is under the field direction of head drum major Olive Huerta and first assistant Edgar Encina. March of the week, Edgar Vasquez. Band students of the week are Victor Vidales, Adriana Llanes, and Rudy Ortiz. Outstanding the freshman of the week is Rosie. Section of the week is percussion. Color guard members of the week are Clarissa Zuniga. Tonight, the Jaguar Band were performing its selections from their 2014 UIL Pigskin show entitled Virus Z, Sounds of the Undead. Part 1, Infected. Part 2, Thriller. Part 3, Breaking Free. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The greatest show in Texas on a Friday night. The Blue and Orange, your Johnny G. Economedes High School Marching Band.
For years, the military released bacteria among millions of unsuspecting people to study the effects of biological warfare.
A boy, he believes, has died from Ebola. It kills up to 90% of those infected.
In an effort to stop the spread of the virus, the Health Protection Agency has said that 72% of
Edinburgh CISD Superintendent is Dr. Rene Guterres. ECISD Fine Arts Director is Nelinde Veriel. Principal for Economedes High School is Dr. Anthony Garza. The band is under the direction of Tomas Peña Jr. He is assisted by Lynn Garvin, Eduardo Torvino, Juan Garza Jr., Andres Salazar, and Yvette Zamorano. Consultants for the Jaguar Band are Eduardo Zamorano and Javier Tapia. We hope you have enjoyed tonight's performance.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our halftime festivities, featuring McAllen Memorial's finest dance, music, and theater students in the Rio Grande Valley. The Memorial Prancers, the Memorial Color Guard, and the band that rocks the Rio Grande, the award-winning McAllen Memorial Mustang Marching Band. The 2014 Memorial Prancer officers are Captain Victoria Barrera, First Lieutenant Veronica Leal, Second Lieutenant Jaylene Gutierrez, and the Prancer of the Week is Jessica Eckbeck. Sit back and enjoy as the Prancers perform to the big hit, You Really Got Me. The Prancers. The Prancers are under the direction of Mrs. Blythe Kirchner, Assistant Director Sandra Cantu, and escorts Felipe Gutierrez and Matthew Huggins. The award-winning McAllen Memorial Marching Band would like to present their 2014 UIL Marching Show entitled The Struggle of Lost Souls. This evening, the band will perform the first three movements, Lost, The Path to Nowhere, and Decisions. And now, under the field direction of senior drum majors Valeria Cedillo, Joshua Garza, and Valerie Hernandez, we proudly present the band that rocks the Rio Grande, the McAllen Memorial Mustang Band. A salute to Mustang Country. Percussion section leaders are Jacobo Manda, Rosa Gallardo, and Ruby Vargas. Color guard officers are Captain Brianna Perez, Lieutenant Alexandria Miller. Color guard member of the week is Cielo Cruz. Band marchers of the week, Jennifer Gonzalez and Teresa Zamora. Carissa Garcia, Whitney Goodrich, Luis Pineda, Melina Diaz, and Rigo Garza. Seniors of the week are Jennifer Gonzalez and Teresa Zamora. Section of the week is the Clarinets.
And we're back for the second half of this football game. McAllen Memorial against the Edinburgh Economedes Jaguars. 41-10 is our halftime score. It was all Mustangs in that second half, or first half, especially in the second quarters. The Mustangs erupted for 27 points in the second quarter. And they now lead at 41-10. They had 2 touchdowns in the last minute and a half of that first half. Excellent clock management as they put 2 more on the board in the late going. And they have the Jaguars on the ropes here, 41-10. We take a look at the first half stats, and you can see the score is reflected in those stats with the dominance. The first downs, 22-6 in favor of the Mustangs. Rushing yards, Mustangs almost 300 yards in that first half, most of it courtesy of Trevor Spates, but the quarterbacks had a lot too. Passing yards, Economedes kind of uncharacteristic, 129 passing yards for them, and the Mustangs not too shabby either at 94. Total yards heavily favors the Mustangs. Penalties not really a factor for either team. But the factor that matters, the score, Mustangs 41 and the Jaguars 10. And to make it worse for the Jaguars, the Mustangs, who scored on every possession in the first half, will get the ball to start this second half. And here's the kickoff by Valle for the Jaguars. Going to be fielded by the Mustangs at their own 5, running left to right. And the Mustangs bring it up across the 15 and then get corralled there. And that was DJ Talamantes, the senior split end on the return.
Mark, how many yards did you have for Trevor Spates in the first half?
Well, the Mustangs as a team had 292.
And on my official
Spates probably
count,
had about 200 of those.
You're absolutely right. I have him unofficially for 204 yards.
Wow.
He's averaging 100 yards per quarter.
Per quarter.
Let's
wow.
not. I hope we don't say 400
and he
yards
was
at the end
over
of this
that
game.
pace in his first game when he got 257. I'm sorry, I was but nearly at that pace for that game. And here's Talamantes, catches a pass on 1st and 10. Mustangs starting at their own 17-yard line.
That's the third time, I believe, that they've used that play, a quick throw by Pedraza to Talamantes, and it's worked all night. So I'm assuming Coach Kaufman, as you take a look at Coach Kaufman on the screen, he's going to continue to run that play until they stop it.
13-yard pickup for a first down. Now they go lateral to Talamantes on the right side, and this time Jaguars are ready for it. He gets up to the 29-yard line, which is actually a loss of 1 on the play.
What we're having here, Mark, I believe there's a penalty. What you're having here is the offense is always like a game of chess. You make a couple of moves, and you're thinking about 3 or 4 plays down the road, and it looks like Coach Kaufman is working, as you take a look at the penalties of holding, looks like Coach Kaufman is working on possible plays for future use. How do you set up your offense so it can be more successful? I don't know if you can be more successful than they have been in this first half. But it's also throwing some wrinkles. As you know, scouts are always around, especially district opponents. So you want to keep them on their toes.
Jaguars accept the penalty, so that'll move the Mustangs back 10 yards to their own 20. They give it to Spates. Spates is bottled up in the backfield, fights outside, only to get back to the line of scrimmage. And so the Jaguars coming out fired up here on defense here to start this third quarter, as the Mustangs a bit of a pickle at their own 20-yard line, facing second down and long.
And coaches are always looking on what they can use to build on. I know they're down 31 points, this game is basically over, but Coach Peña's trying to get something, a momentum, try to play an even term, something that he can work on to talk to the kids, make some adjustments to some mistakes they had in the first half.
Mustangs put 3 receivers on the left side and 1 on the right. They throw left, and this is caught by Will Moore up around the 25-yard line. Should be 3rd down and 15.
And Will Moore, that reception, is the son of a former school board president. In fact, he was president of the school board on an unprecedented back-to-back times, and that is Richard Moore.
Well, Richard Moore, I think, has had 2 sons play for these Mustangs. He had a son who played linebacker a few years ago. And Richard Moore, former school board member, and I saw him up in the stands here tonight watching this game. And here's Pedraza going to throw it on 3rd down, and this is incomplete. Intended for Spates, who was running deep down the right side, and covered by Albert Preciado, the junior defensive back. There's Preciado there.
And don't be surprised this year if the Mustangs come out and throw the ball to Spates, and that's something that maybe Coach Kaufman will do to help improve the game of Spates. We know he can run, but you know the college coaches would like for him to also be able to catch some passes from the backfield.
First punt of the game for the Mustangs here at 9:49 in the 3rd quarter. It's a high one by Jesus Torres, fielded in Jaguar territory at the 41, run up to about the 49. It's an 8-yard return. And there on the tackle for the Mustangs was looked like 25 Joey Delgado. Take a look at the Mustang fans.
And also Jose Jimenez helping out on that tackle. A real nice start for the Jaguars here. They had a stop coming out right here in the 3rd quarter, trying to get some momentum on their side. And that stop could do something for the confidence of the defense.
So David Garcia in the first half, who completed 3 of 7 passes for 129. Here will hand this off running right. A sweep play, and the Mustangs come up and stuff it after a short 2-yard gain. That was Gonzalez on the carry. Several Mustangs in there on the tackle, including the linebacker, number 1, Trey Guetta.
There was a lot of other players in the vicinity to make the tackle. Everybody doing a good job of maintaining their responsibility. And the defense for Moses Patterson has done a good job the entire night, hustling, a lot of gang tackling. As you take a look at the replay, there was at least 5 defenders in on that play.
I saw the middle linebacker Lucas Rios in there too at the end. One of the Mustangs may have jumped offside. They hand this off. Flag is down. Big room for Areola, and he's into the secondary. Big yardage, and Moore getting a stiff arm at the 20, breaks a tackle at the 10, and goes in for the touchdown. 49-yard touchdown run for Doroteo Areola, the big senior.
And that is correct, Mark, the big senior. He's a beast out in the open, strong kid. There's no way you're going to bring him down with a hand tackle. I knew, but it looks like there's a penalty because
we
the
did see a penalty.
Already
I
disappointed.
Thought the Mustangs had jumped offside, but the Jaguar coaches don't look happy.
You're right, Mark. It is offsides. Uh-oh.
Personal foul against the Mustangs.
2 penalties on the Mustangs.
Well, now he's pointing the other way.
Well, I think they're going to enforce it on a kickoff.
Oh, okay.
Weird signals there, Mark, that we're not used to.
Oh, so the touchdown does count. Touchdown does count. It's 41-16 now, and now there's an extra point trot. So Mania looked upset, but his team did produce a 49-yard touchdown run, and here's Valle's extra point, and it's up and good, although there is a flag down.
And Mark, we talked about even though Coach Littleton went into halftime up 41-10, how difficult it is for the coaches to try to maintain that momentum on your side because you have a tendency to relax.
Oh, I see one of the assistant coaches doing some.
That's what you need to do. He's trying to do some high fives, but he just can't jump.
So the touchdown is good, the extra point is good, and we had a personal foul against the Mustangs that'll be enforced on the kickoff.
Now the Mustangs are hurting themselves.
Yeah, take another look at the touchdown run here. This is just a simple handoff up the middle, but Areola, you can see, had a big hole there initially, and then he'll fight his way
look at that.
toward the end zone.
Get out of my way, kid. Don't you know I'm a 200-pound? We can see why, Mark. He was moved in from the defensive player, and now Coach Littleton is not happy with some of the penalties that have been called on his defense. As much as the coaches probably talk to their team, Mark, about maintaining that momentum, it's easier said than done. You can tell that the Jaguars came out with some more fire, and the Mustangs came out flat on their first offensive possession.
Yeah, Mustangs forced a punt for the first time in the game. The Mustangs will now be receiving once again, as Economedes had a punt return that started at their own 49, and they go 51 yards in 2 plays to put a touchdown on the board. And Memorial still in a commanding lead, 41-17, with 8 minutes 50 seconds left in the third quarter.
Mark, would you think that Coach Peña being down 41-17, a little momentum on his side, would he try an outside kick, or is it too early in the game?
I think it's a little early, but then again, best time to do it is when the other team isn't expecting it. Valle is the kicker. Mustangs will be going from left to right.
They play it safe.
Nice high kick. This goes deep to about the 3-yard line. And it's going to be brought back by Talamantes up to the 20, and then he's hit and buried right there at about the 21-yard line.
Okay, can the Jaguar defense come up with a second consecutive stop, or is the McAllen Memorial offense going to go back to that high efficiency? They had a total of how many yards in the first half, Mark? 200?
First half, close to 400 yards.
Wow,
386 in the first half. 22 first downs, which is just, usually that's a pretty good total for a full game, but to get that in one half is just off the charts. And here the Mustangs will go with a wishbone. And it's going to be a quarterback sneak. That's Sanchez. And Sanchez, who has 2 touchdowns tonight, fights his way up for a gain of about 5.
I don't know if Coach Kaufman would call it quarterback sneak when you have your star running back. That could be an audible where Sanchez, who's done a good job all game running the ball, where he thinks that he sees an opening and he's going to take it.
It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Mustangs. 2 men in the backfield. They're going to lateral this to the left side. Talamantes has it. They're going to roll that an incomplete pass.
It almost did look like a lateral. You know, one thing about quarterbacks, Mark, I remember when Matthew Kaufman was a quarterback here, and Coach Kaufman would tell me that on many occasions Matthew Kaufman himself would audible, and 80 to 90% of the time he made the right call.
Well, his father was a coach, so he was homeschooled, you could say. So Mustangs now facing, I believe, 3rd down. And they're going to hand this off. Spates hit in the backfield, has nowhere to go, and they'll get him for a loss back to the 20-yard line.
And
a loss of 5.
Momentum is now totally on the Jaguar side. Good play right there by number 57. Number 57 for the Jaguars is Ruben Barco.
Yeah, and for the 2nd time in a row, the Mustangs will have to punt.
And now he's talking the talk.
So standing at his own 10-yard line is Torres. Torres, plenty of good protection, gets a nice high punt into Jaguar territory at the 45. And that's picked up by Jesse Gonzalez, trying to get around the right side, breaks a tackle, Mustang territory, and then makes his way down to the 33-yard line before he's finally brought down. Looked like Will Moore was in there on the tackle, but not before a big return there by the Jaguars. So the Jaguars making some noise here in this 3rd quarter.
They sure are, and you can take a look at the benches. You see it on the Jaguar side. You see a lot of movement, a lot of jumping, a lot of high fives. The coach is excited. And on the Memorial side, they look flat. They're just standing around like, what's going on? We had this game 41-10.
So here go the Jaguars, and looks like a false start as the officials blow the whistle right as they snap the ball. This will probably move it back 5.
Expect Coach Peña to keep running the ball and expect Ariola. So far, the Mustangs having a difficult problem stopping Ariola. Ariola has to be close to the 100-yard mark.
He's had a couple of big runs, including that 49-yard touchdown on the last possession. So 1st and 15 after the penalty. Jaguars at the Mustang 38, and they hand this off up the middle. A little bit of misdirection, as they sometimes like to do, and they fight their way up to about the 31-yard line. A gain of 7 for Chris Izagede. Izagede having a touchdown back in the first half.
On the tackle there was Sammy Nohosa.
Second down and 8. Go to with the wing left. They'll go off tackle to the left side. Ariola once again uses that stiff arm up to the 20-yard line. Has the first down. Ariola with one of the best stiff arms we've seen in a long time. Has great technique on that, and uses it with a lot of prowess over there. Watch him right here. He just puts his hand on the guy's helmet and pushes him away.
And the other thing about Ariola, he doesn't look like he has a lot of speed, but when he's out in the open, he looks like he's all right. And that's John McGee, also on the tackle there, and he's having a fine night. We've called out his name on many occasions.
14-yard pickup there for Ariola. First down. They hand it off up the middle. Big hole at the left side and a 5-yard line, and now touchdown. Touchdown, and it's the second TD of the night for Izagede. A 17-yard run there for the Jaguars, who have scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions and now have cut the lead from 41-10 now to 41-23.
And give credit to Coach Gabe. He must have had a great speech at halftime, because the Jaguars don't look anything like they did in the first half.
Valle's in there as the kicker. High snap, good hold, kick is up and away, and it's good. And with 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the third quarter, it's the Mustangs 41, Economedes now 24. We take another look at the touchdown here, and you can see that misdirection in the backfield causes the defense to hesitate a little bit, and Izagede takes off over the left side and gets in there for the touchdown. So we'll take a break with our score 41-24 Mustangs. You're watching Football Night in McAllen right here on MITV. In just 1 year, our students earned so many college credit hours that it saved our families millions in college tuition. It's not just about getting ready to enter college tomorrow. Our advanced programs put students in college in our classrooms today. And we're back, 41-24 our score. And Mustangs still up by 17 points, but they led by 31 at halftime. So Mustangs need to make a little bit of noise here in this second half. There's still plenty of time left, 6 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the third. And here's another look at the touchdown, Mario.
It's all about the deception. Nice fake.
Here's the kickoff. Valle's kick is high and short, takes a Jaguar bounce at the 25, picked up at about the 20. Here's Spades trying to make his way to the right side, has some blocking there, hesitates at the 40, turns it on again at the 50, cuts inside, still going into Jaguar territory, and he's brought down inside the 40-yard line. And now a late flag comes in as Spades' helmet has come off, and Spades all fired up.
Expect a face mask, I do believe there, and if it is, that's exactly what the Mustangs needed. And this is where sometimes, Mark, I don't
Flag
know
is there on the 36-yard
if I would
line.
feel comfortable. I don't think if I feel comfortable punting or kicking the ball to Trevor Spades.
Yeah, that's Spades' first return tonight. I think they've generally been kicking away from him. And Spades took this one from the, I think from about the 10-yard line all the way to the Jaguar 39.
And all that momentum here in the third quarter by the Jaguars almost goes down the drain on only one play, because anytime you give the ball to the Mustangs on their own 22-yard line, and you're looking at number 21 in your backfield, Trevor Spades, you're really looking for trouble. Great run. He put on about 4 or 5 different moves.
Yeah, 53 yards on the kick return, and now here's a quarterback sneak by Sanchez. He has big yardage from the 22 down to about the 11-yard line, and he has a first down.
A good read there by John Sanchez, noticing that he has the edge, as a lot of defensive players on the Economedes side are pinching in and keying in on Trevor Spades.
Yeah, Spates with the big kick return, then the 15-yard face mask penalty moved it up to the 22, and now the 11-yard run by Sanchez. They have 1st and 10 at the 11, and here's Spates on the toss right, breaks the tackle, and is in for the touchdown. Just like knife through hot butter, and Trevor Spates in there for his 3rd touchdown of the night. He's got 6 in 2 games, and Spates continues to assert himself in Valley football circles as the Mustangs increase their lead to 47-24.
That's how quickly the Mustangs get that momentum on their side.
Just a 2-play drive. They go in for the touchdown. And here's the extra point try by Flores. Up and good. And Flores now 6 for 6 tonight, and the Mustangs lead it by a score of 48-24. 5 minutes 30 seconds left in the third quarter. The Mustangs answer right back. And we'll go to break. You're watching Football Night in McAllen right here on MITV.
That's a linebacker.
For all your vehicle solutions. These pharmacies back in the Mustang. These pharmacies keep you and your family healthy. 2 locations in McAllen. South Texas Science.
There you see running back Trevor Spades on the sideline, only a junior. And you can see why he is so highly touted among the top 300 in the country by ESPN. He's already committed to the University of Arizona. And he has 3 touchdowns in the first game, now 3 here tonight. 257 yards in his first game, probably about 250 yards so far in this game.
No doubt about it.
And here's a squib kick by Flores. Is fielded on the 30 and up across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Got a 12-yard return for Resendez. So the Jaguars will have good field position, but they may just run out of time in this game as they are down 48-24. Here in the third quarter, there was Coach Marcus Coughlin, the offensive coordinator, was talking to the offense. Coaches never seem to be happy. No matter what the score, they're always looking for improvement.
And one thing, the difference in this game, it takes the Jaguars a long time to score, and the Mustangs can score quickly.
Yeah, the Jaguars, they like to take their time. Here they go to the air, and this is incomplete. Salazar there on the coverage against Jesse Gonzalez, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here we see the Mustang cheerleaders under the tutelage of Coach Pedro Ramirez. They went to a camp this year, didn't they? Yeah, they went to the camp at Texas A&M in the summer, and they won a national championship at a national competition, cheer competition, this past, I think it was in February. The early spring, so they're quite a group there, those Mustang cheerleaders. Hand off to Vela, and this is bottled up at the line of scrimmage by a host of Mustangs, including number 70. That's Minor, Ricky Minor. He had a fumble recovery back in the first half. You see Minor there in the middle. He's gotten quite a bit of action here tonight. Mustangs have a young defensive line this year, but it's a big one. They average 243 pounds per man on the defensive line. You can see some big guys on the Jaguars side as well. It's not like high school football back in the 70s and 80s. These players are big today. 4.5 minutes to play here in the third. Garcia goes back to throw. Looks like he's trying to set up a screen, but it breaks down. He throws on the right. It's picked off. Picked off at the 48-yard line. Back come the Mustangs into Jaguar territory up to about the 42. And it's picked off by the safety, Michael Garza. Garza, great job there stepping in front of that. Now we have a late flag after the play. And this might be an unsportsmanlike on somebody as we saw that flag, but a great pickoff there by Michael Garza to read that play and pick off the Jaguars.
What Michael Garza did is what any good safety does. He maintained his position, did what he had to do, was patient, waited for the ball to come to him, and after that, got in perfect position, good hands. And then to add more insult to this turnover, an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Jaguars gives them another 15 yards. The other thing that made this play go that might not go unnoticed is that David Garza, the quarterback, was made to scramble. And anytime you make a quarterback throw the ball in a hurry, sometimes you're going to get that interception.
There you see the replay there, just a little bit of pushing and shoving there at the end. And officials, I know a lot of times officials like to throw a flag just to prevent anything worse from happening. Here's 1st and 10 at the 28 after the 15-yard penalty. This is Spates, dances his way up to the line of scrimmage before he's wrapped up by the defensive lineman, Alexis Alvarez. Can you talk a little bit about that, Mario, about I guess how officials will do that to kind of control the game?
You got to do that early, and you got to do it right away when the opportunity presents itself, because if you don't, then the players will know that they can get away with it, and then that's how you lose control of a game, and that's true in a basketball game. You got to take charge right away. But the only time you can stop Trevor is when a lot of the defensive line has a penetration. That's the only way you can have success. You got to get him before he starts going.
Mustangs with an unbalanced line to the left, but they toss this right. This is Spates. Dances his way through up to about the 25-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
And once again, a good job by the Jaguar defensive line. They are penetrating now, doing a better job than they did in the first half. And I think we have a player that's down. But anytime that the defense penetrates, that's how they've had success. You get Trevor Spates right away before he gets to the line of scrimmage, because once he gets there, he is a very dangerous runner.
We have a timeout on the field right now as the Mustangs facing 3rd down and 7 with 3:27 to play here in the third quarter. Mustangs in a commanding 48-24 lead. Let's take a quick timeout. You're watching Football Night in McAllen right here on MITV. At McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Now, have you ever wondered who Economedes is named after? It's named after Johnny Economedes, longtime fire chief in the city of Edinburgh. But did you know that Johnny Economedes was a McAllen school product? He was a graduate of McAllen High School, class of 1951, and there you see the young Johnny there in his senior portrait from back in the early 1950s. You know, he was also on the boxing team. They actually had high school boxing back then. As we come back to live action on the 3rd down, and Sanchez trying to carry it, goes nowhere. Flag comes in late. So we'll see what this flag is. But yeah, Johnny Economedes, longtime fire chief in the city of Edinburgh. And they named that 3rd high school after him when it opened. Holding against the Mustangs. Now the Jaguars may decline this because it'll force the Mustangs into 4th down.
Hey Mark, how about giving me one of those listen to this that on that press release that just came out from the Let's Move people? What was that press release about?
Yeah, there was a press release just today, Friday, September 5th. And this was a national press release from the National Let's Move Active Schools organization that announced that McAllen ISD had 32 schools achieve 100% and in the Let's Move campaign. And they were the first school district in the country to achieve that status. That's quite an amazing feat, and yes, it happened right here in McAllen. And the city of McAllen is a let's move city. They're the only ones in the valley right now. Here the Mustangs go on 4th down. They're going to go for it. They get Rocha at the 10. He goes into the end zone, but the ball has come loose. They're counting it as a touchdown. Officials have already signaled touchdown. And the Mustangs on 4th and 10 elect to go for it. They hit Rocha with the short pass, breaks a tackle at the 10, crosses the plane of the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
You know, Mark, and when you talk to a lot of defensive coordinators in the district, they talk about Memorial being a one-dimensional team, and why not? You have Trevor Spades. But if Memorial continues to improve on the passing attack, they're going to be impossible to stop.
Mustangs just incredible tonight, 54 points. They scored 28 in their first game. They've more than nearly doubled that here tonight.
And also, Mark,
there's the extra point try. They bobbled the snap, but Flores is able to get the kick off, and he remains perfect on the evening, 7 for 7. And the Mustangs now lead it by a score of 55-24 with 3:04 to play here in the third. What were you going to say, Mario?
I was just going to say, Mark, that the mark of a good team is they took a couple of punches here. Back-to-back touchdowns by the Jaguars and the Mustangs. No big deal. They maintained their composure. And here they are scoring back-to-back touchdowns on their own. So they got the momentum right away back on their side. This kid right there, remember, Mark, he's the one that comes out in that pep rally. He's doing a fantastic job. I wonder, maybe you ought to make him a captain all the time. Alvaro Rocha having a good game.
And we saw there on that replay that the ball came loose very close to the goal line as Rocha was trying to cross the goal line. You'll see here, yeah, the ball comes out, looks like a little bit before he crossed the goal line, so Mustangs catch a little bit of a break there.
If it comes to this booth, Mark, we're going to have to make the decision here. See what it looks like the ball came loose before. Excellent coverage there by the guys.
Yep. And people sometimes will be critical of officials, but I mean, these things are happening in a split second. Not always easy to see. Here's the Jaguars catching the kickoff at the 15-yard line, running back across the 30 and up to about the 32 on the return is Jesse Gonzalez.
You know, it's interesting how things happen in high school football on a week-to-week basis. Memorial losing big last week, and we saw the Road Warriors here having an easy time with the Elsa Yellow Jackets last week, and now I understand that Memorial is down 30-12 to Mercedes.
It happens. Memorial's up over Economedes right now, 55-24. 2:55 left in the third quarter. Jaguars come out with a running formation, split backfield. Now they put 3 in the backfield. They'll hand it off to the up back and run this across the 40. Looks like they got first down yardage there. A good run there for 25, Alan Arredondo. He's a sophomore running back, and I think that's his first carry tonight.
One thing that when you have running backs by committee, they're never going to be tired. We had a lot of spunk on that run right there by Arredondo.
So here we go. David Garcia, the senior, in there at quarterback. He was a starter in the varsity last year for this Economedes team that went to the first round of the playoffs. He'll hand this off to Areola. Areola is stuffed right there after a gain of about 1. Hit initially by 79, Robert Gonzalez, and a couple of teammates stepping in there, including 42, Sam Hinojosa. Look at that replay. You see the Mustangs get good penetration there and able to force him back. I think Paul Zuniga came in there late as well. So 2nd down and 7 now for the Jaguars. They'll hand this off. Same man, Areola, uses that stiff arm again. He's wrapped up by Hinojosa and brought down. Zuniga in there as well.
That's the only way you can bring him down. He's such a big kid. We're going to have to gang tackle him. There's about 4 defenders. If we take a look at the replay,
You see the pulling guard there also. That was 54, Ivan Maldonado. The Mustangs get about 5 players in there on the tackle.
Yeah, Sammy Nohosa.
There we see the Mustang cheerleaders. They've had a lot to cheer about tonight with their team up 55-24. Some more misdirection. They try a sweep to the right side here on 3rd and short. And he's still fighting. Looks like he fights his way for the first down on second effort there. That was Charlie Vela. And Vela looked like he initially was going to be stopped short of the first down, but he just kept turning those legs and was able to get at the first down, and they'll move the chains.
He basically was determined. Look at this kid here. He's a small guy, but hey, he refused to go down. First down. Hustled right there.
Jaguars' first 3rd down conversion of the game.
Andres Fuentes.
They have a 1st and 10 at the Mustang 42, moving from right to left. 3 men in the backfield behind Garcia. Play action fake, wants to throw long, has a man there on the flag pattern. It's caught at the 25 and fights his way up to the 20.